Again, I'm a 15-year-old guy working at an amusement park in upstate New York. This only happened a year ago, and it still gives me chills thinking about it. It was a crisp October Sunday, one of the last few days the park would be open until it closed until May. It seemed like just another normal day at work. Boy, was I wrong. After checking in and working at my station for about 5 hours, I looked at my watch, 4:55 p.m. Was the time my shift ended in 5 minutes? I felt relieved and exhausted as I began packing up my things. A man with a scraggly beard and messy hair approached me. He was wearing a gray t-shirt with a few stains on it and black sweatpants covered in holes. I thought to myself, I just need to get through this. Last one. Can I help you? I asked the man. He stared at me for a few seconds and then he kept turning his head as if someone were following him. I was starting to get a little creeped out. Sarah, can I help you? I repeated my question, starting to sound a little annoyed. He looked at me for a couple seconds and finally responded, saying with a stutter, "Where are your bathrooms?" He said this in a whisper tone of voice. "Up the hill to the right," I responded cheerfully. The man started to walk in that direction. As he did, he kept turning and looking at me. I avoided eye contact even though I was more freaked out than ever. Next thing I knew, one of my coworkers came to take my spot. I grabbed my things, practically sprinted through the park to the back room to punch out of my shift and then to the bathroom. I changed out of my work clothes and headed to the employee parking lot. I sat on a bench and waited for my coworker Jordan, who was 17, to pick me up after waiting for what seemed like hours. Jordan finally picked me up before going home. We went to the local diner to eat some cheeseburgers for dinner. While eating in the diner, I noticed something odd. The same man who I helped find the bathrooms at the park was at the diner sitting a couple tables down, staring right at me. My heart skipped a beat. I told Jordan about it, and he just shrugged it off. Probably just a coincidence. "Ben, don't worry." "Yeah," I said. Even though I was pretty concerned after dinner, we got back in the car and started the 35-minute drive back home. At the first red light we came to, I saw something that made my heart skip another beat there. Sitting in his white Honda to the right of us, the man from the park and diner. Sure enough, he was staring back at me. I told Jordan, and he started to worry a little. After arriving to our street, we made sure to take a couple laps around the block to make sure that man wasn't following us. Once it was clear, Jordan dropped me off at home. My mom and sister were out at the mall, and my dad was on a business trip, so I was home alone. After immediately jumping into bed, I heard a noise at my window. I slowly got up and looked outside and saw something that will forever send chills down my spine. Right there on my front lawn was the man looking right at my window, smiling. I immediately grabbed my phone and called 911. But once the police arrived, the man was gone. I immediately quit my job at the amusement park. Right after the park closed for winter, I haven't seen the man since this incident. This was an experience that I'll never,